So I try to spend a little bit of time every day sketching. And that's where most of my paintings start from, is a tiny little sketch of an idea in my sketchbook. It's usually not very detailed, but it's just enough to plant a seed and get me excited about moving forward to something a little bit bigger and more detailed. So I drew this bomb pop, classic childhood popsicle, and I like to add whimsy to things. And one way that I do that is by changing the scale, making something either bigger than it normally is or smaller than it normally is, or by putting it in the object or the idea in locations and environments that it wouldn't normally be in. So I had this bomb pop idea, I was thinking about it, and it reminded me of a rocket ship, right? And so I started envisioning this giant bomb pop in a NASA-style rocket launch. And that's where I started with this idea, getting references of pictures of big launches and trying to find a dramatic picture that I could use as reference for this blast-off idea. Somewhere along the line as I'm working on this, the classic song from the 80s, Def Leppard, Rocket, comes in my head. Rocket! And that's where the idea of rocket, yeah, came from in the painting. And so now every time I look at this painting, the entire time I was working on it, that song, that chorus was looping in my head nonstop. I suspect now that I have shared this with you, the same will happen to you. So, you're welcome. So I never really painted clouds, exhaust, smoke, whatever you want to call this, before. And I thought it would be pretty easy, just throw some paint down and make it. But it was really a challenging test of seeing and looking at the light and the value, and really was the most challenging part of the painting. But I really loved how it turned out with the different colors that you can see in there and the energy of the brush strokes. And I really like the energy that comes out of this part of the painting. For me, the meaning of this painting is twofold. First of all, we've been launching ourselves into space for decades now, and still there's an element of risk. Things might not work out, disaster could happen, and that's true of any time we try something new, launch off into the unknown, there's a possibility that it might not work. And I think that's important to remember, that every good adventure comes with a little bit of risk. On the flip side, I think for me, I needed to be reminded that it's easy for me to go into a zone where I focus too much on what if it doesn't work and the danger and what will people think of me. And so incorporating some of the whimsy into this painting for me is a reminder that to focus just as much on the excitement, the possibility, the what could happen, the adventure and the things that will be learned in the process of trying this thing that might not work. And for me, that can give me the fuel that I need to launch off into an adventure that may be unknown, may not work, but to stay focused on the excitement and the possibility that revolves around it.